Today, we will be talking about the basic economic ideas. These ideas are fundamentally the building blocks of economics. So, basically, this is where economics really starts. So, let's go ahead. So, what is the economic problem? This is the basic fundamental question which was responsible for the birth of economics. Why did economics came into being? It came into being because we had a problem. And what was that problem? The problem was it is the fact that we have limited resources to satisfy our unlimited wants. So we have limited resources, but our wants are unlimited. So let's say I'm a teenager and I have limited pocket money, but I want a Land Cruiser, I want a big house, I want to have a great vacation every year. How is it possible to make sure that all these unlimited wants are satisfied within my limited resources? So this gave birth to the science of economics, wherein we try to maximize the use of our limited resources to cater to as many wants as possible, right? So economics is a science wherein we use all our resources efficiently and effectively so that most of our wants, or as much as they are possible, our wants are satisfied. So three interrelated questions arise. What to produce? Since we have limited resources, so this is a very, very important question. What do we need to produce? So generally, we need to produce goods that are demanded or that are required or wanted by most people in an economy, right? So high priority goods should be our topmost priority, and those goods which are wanted only by a few should not be our priority, right? How to produce? Since we have uh, limited resources, so it's very important that during the process of production of certain goods and commodities, resources are not wasted. So the way we produce goods is also very important for conservation of our resources. So we need to make sure that the way we produce our goods is efficient. So how to produce is also a very, very important question. And the third one is for whom to produce. We need to decide how many of each person's wants are to be satisfied, or how many people do we want to satisfy. All right? Three important questions. Why? Because we have limited resources, and these resources are considered in the form of factors of production. What are factors of production? Number one is land. What is land? Land is not only a piece of vacant plot uh, wherein we can construct houses, but in economics, everywhere and anywhere from where we get natural resources is considered as land. So in economics, rivers, sea, mines, they are all considered as land. So any place from where we get natural resources or raw material is called land in economics and business. Labor is the physical human effort that is exerted on the goods or during the production of goods. So that is another very important resource. Without labor, most of the production is not possible. So it's also very important. Capital goods, now they are very, very important. Capital goods are goods that help in the production of consumer goods. They are man-made aids to production. So right now I'm delivering a service by teaching all of you, and I'm using my laptop. So my laptop right now is a capital good. It's not a consumer good. But if I'm using my laptop to watch a movie, then that laptop becomes a consumer good. But right now, since it's helping me in delivering a service, it is a capital good. Similarly, a machine on which my t-shirt is made is also a capital good. So goods that help in the production of other goods are called capital goods. So these are very, very important resources because without them, production is impossible. And the last and most important resource is the enterprise, which is the binding force. It is the businessman who binds all the three factors of production together. And another important function of the enterprise is taking risk. So enterprise has two functions. It combines all of the factors of production like land, labor, and capital. And the entrepreneur is responsible for taking risk. Without risk, production is not possible. No progress is possible without risk. So this is a very, very important role of the enterprise. And factor endowment means the sum of all factors of production in an economy. So let's say a country has discovered fresh resources, fresh reserves of oil. So we would say that its factor endowment has increased. Similarly, let's say due to an earthquake, some countries' resources are destroyed. So we'll say that its factor endowment has reduced, because factor endowment means sum of all resources, land, labor, capital, and enterprise in an. Now, what is the difference between production and consumption? Production is making of goods, where you combine all resources to produce some goods. All right. So let's say I have a shoe uh, factory, and the process through which I combine leather, physical human effort, and I take risk, and I combine all these factors of production, physical labor effort, uh, and the end product is a shoe. So the whole process is called the production process, wherein we combine land, labor, and capital and give our enterprise resources in the form of risk taking and combining of all of other resources. So this whole process is known as production. Consumption is using of those produced goods. So when I wear those shoes, this process is known as consumption. Consumption is not only eating, it's about when you use a good or a service, you are actually consuming it. So the process through which individuals use up goods and services to satisfy wants is known as consumption. Now, as I said earlier, humans have unlimited wants. And economics is a science which tries to mitigate the long distance which exists between unlimited wants and limited resources. So we need to understand first what are wants. Wants are subjective. Yeah, they are luxuries. They are not something without which you cannot live. You can live without them, but they are subjective things. For example, I know people who say that I cannot live without an Apple iPhone. Apple iPhone is not a necessity, but people can make it a necessity because of so many reasons. It's a want. Okay? Necessities are things where you cannot live without them, like air, water, all these things. They are necessities. Wants are things that you want. It is subjective, but you can live without it. So there are different scales of preference. Something might be a topmost want for me, and you would not consider it a want for yourself. So it's all subjective. This is a small assignment. Make a list of 10 wants in a sequence of essentiality. Is there any time where all our wants are satisfied? No. These wants are continually expanding. So rich people want to get more rich, wealthy people want to get more wealth. So it doesn't stop there. So this gives rise to the concept of scarcity, which means we are continually finding new, more efficient ways to produce more and more goods and services with the resources available to us. We are still faced with the basic economic problem that we have limited resources and unlimited wants. So this is the most important question of human life. No matter how much money we accumulate, no matter how much wealth we derive, we still want more. So this is basically scarcity.